Welcome back to SnowRunner. I decided I'm going to do a farming job because it's really all I have left to do. Well, not really all that's left to do. There's definitely still tasks, but this is really the only contract I can do on this map right now. And then we got to move on to a different one. So for this episode, we're going to just do this farming job. I bought a new tractor, so I don't have to bring the one from the other map over here. But then, of course, I had to go get all 3 freaking farming equipments, and I got to take them over to the field, so I'm winching this harvester across behind this cultivator. I already got the planter over there. I winched that all the way over there with the F750. That was fun. It got stuck. I wish it has a freaking normal hitch on it, so like I wish you could just attach it to like the hitch of the truck, but you can't. It's just stupid. I hate everything about this, but this is really the only way to do it, because it's either that or I do multiple trips to get these stupid things over there. And I don't know, this just feels like the best way to go about it. I was gonna get like a big trailer and try and pack all of them on the trailer so I could just drive them over on a trailer, but I don't think I'd be able to fit them all on a trailer anyway, so I just kind of nixed that idea. I don't know, they may have fit on like the 8-slot super heavy, but I'm not sure. I wasn't even really gonna try it, to be honest. I would have to like recover my Mastodon, put a different put the high saddle on it, which I could do. Like, it's not like a big deal, but I don't know. I just figured this was probably the simplest solution, to just do it this way. And it's actually not too bad. This harvester has like 4 wheels that it can ride on. The planter was horrible because it only has like the back wheels, and then like it just has like the front little thing that sits on the ground when it's not hitched to a truck. So that thing kept getting caught on everything. But this is actually not too bad. And this tractor is surprisingly not very slow, so it's interesting. The turning radius on it sucks, but it's not too bad. Now the other tractor that I have, I haven't really upgraded it at all. Like, I could upgrade this one because I bought it. Like, I've never recovered the other tractor to my garage. It's just the one that's sitting in the world that you get when you start this region. So the upgrades are kind of nice, to be honest. I mean, I don't hate them. But this is probably going to take this whole episode to do this farming, and then the next episode we'll probably jump over to the Institute. I feel like the Institute's kind of like the next map they want you to go to, so I'll just jump over to the Institute and we'll start clearing that map out. Alright, we'll just leave that out there in that field, it's fine. Alright. Pretty much the general consensus I've seen is you just drive in circles. That's literally what I've seen. Which is funny to me, but that's just what people say works the best, so we're just gonna do it. I mean, I've kind of found going back and forth works really well, but I don't know. Or like doing this, like just taking wide turns and then just kind of adjusting as you go, but I don't know. It's boring either way. There's not really a whole lot you can do with it. It does slightly make me want to play Farming Simulator, but one, I don't really want to buy Farming Simulator. I have Farming Simulator 19 because that was a PlayStation Plus game a while ago, like years ago. My son plays that a lot, actually. He, like, loves it, but I don't know. If I was gonna play it, I'd want to play, like, the newest one, and I just don't want to buy it. Oh, God. Freaking Austin Powers in this shit right now. But again, like, it's also just a game that's, like, super monotonous, and, like, I don't know. I've played some Farming Simulator in my day, but I've never really, like, got super into it to where I found it fun to do. So. And the funny thing is about it is, like, someone made a really good point in the subreddit, in one of the threads I was reading today. Like, on Farming Simulator, when you make a turn on a field, like, the path that, like, this cultivator makes, it would be at, like, 45-degree angles. Like, it wouldn't be, like, a smooth, like, curve, like it would in real life. And honestly, like, that's how it works in SnowRunner. Like, you can see when I turn, it's like a smooth curve with the cultivator that it puts down on the field. Which is really funny, because, like, you think in Farming Simulator, like, you know, it's supposed to be a realistic farming game. You would think it would work like that, but it doesn't. It's interesting. Maybe Farming Sim 22 does, but I've only really ever played 19. So, I think I played Farming Sim 17 too. I don't know. I've never gotten all the trophies in them, though. I just didn't care enough. So. I hate these articulated trucks, though. God. I hate anything articulated. It is just not... I just don't like it, man. I don't like the way it steers. It just drives me absolutely crazy. So I have been thinking, I don't know, when humanity ends, when I get the platinum on that game and I am not uploading anymore, I don't know if I'm going to take a break from twice a day uploads or not. I don't want to stop uploading SnowRunner, just because obviously I'm not done with this region yet, and I just don't... Oh, are you serious? God, I hate this so much. What the hell? Why did I just flip over? So stupid, man. But, like, I don't want to stop uploading SnowRunner, so we're definitely going to keep uploading daily. But I don't know. I have some other videos I want to work on, and playing 2 games at once and uploading 2 games daily is just a lot. And, like, I really want to work on my second or another SnowRunner tips video, and I really want to work on I've been working on Death Stranding tips video, which, granted, I know Death Stranding's been out for like 5 years now, and there's probably tons of tips videos on it. But I just enjoy making those kinds of videos, and, you know, I mean, I've done it with other games, like Cyberpunk. I made a tips video on that, and a couple of them, actually, and they did really well. I gained a lot of subscribers from a Cyberpunk video, actually, which that video is obsolete now because they patched that so it doesn't work anymore, but, you know, still, I gained a lot from that. And there's just, you know, I just feel like those tend to do better for me anyway. Some of my SnowRunner tips videos have done really well. My Logitech G29 setup videos have done really well. I still get a lot of comments on those to this day. So, like, I don't know, I just think I need to focus more on doing those kinds of things to grow my channel a little bit more. So, because like, don't get me wrong, I love playing games and getting platinum trophies and, you know, kind of archiving my journey in platinuming games, but these just don't get the views, and I understand why. You know, I mean, I'm a nobody. Like, no one knows anything about me. No one has anything invested in me, or, you know, cares about anything I have to talk about. So, like, I get it, but it's just kind of, you know, one day maybe we'll be there. That's kind of the goal. It's the dream. I'd love to stream too, but I need to get a... Alright, I was going to say, it's at 100%. I'd love to start streaming too, but I really need to get a PC set up for that, and I just don't really have the means of doing that right now. So, I would love to, but I don't have the funds to build a PC. Or really, you know, I don't really have, like, if my channel was bigger, if I was able to monetize, if I had more subscribers, like things like that, like, yeah, of course, I would definitely be trying to save some money to build a PC, but it's just not really a feasible thing right now because I don't really have, like, I'm not going to invest all that money in something when I'm not getting any return, if that makes sense, which I'm sure it does, but PCs are really expensive, and you know, someday, that's definitely the dream. I would love to. I will still always be a console gamer, though, at heart. PlayStation, and you can, you know, I'll argue this till I'm blue in the face, and you can tell me I'm wrong, whatever. PlayStation has the best, like, achievement system. The trophies are just, it's the best. There's no arguing that. I know Xbox did it first, technically, with achievements and gamer score and all that, but I need to make it daytime. But Sony just did it best. The platinum trophy system is so good. Like, you have, you know, bronze, silver, golds, and then the platinum trophy. When you get all the trophies in the game, you get a platinum. Like, it's just a very, I don't know, it's just neat. I just like it. And, like, you know, I know Xbox, like, 1,000 gamer score is, like, the maximum, whatever. And then if there's DLC added, obviously it goes over that. But I don't know. I just think that system is odd. And then, you know, like, Steam achievements, like, those can be cheated. So, like, I don't know. Sony just has the best system. So, like, I'll always still prioritize PlayStation games, even if I had a PC to record. Or to, like, capture gameplay. I'd still mostly play on consoles. I mean, I would even be open to getting an Xbox, too. You know, I'm not against Xbox by any means. But I honestly think the only reason I'd even think about getting an Xbox is for Bethesda games. That's, like, the only thing I would play. Because I'm really sad that I'm probably not going to get to play the next Elder Scrolls whenever that comes out. I'll probably be 50 when it comes out, but, you know. So, like, it's just, you know, things like that. But I just want to try to focus a little bit on making more quality content videos, on things that could garner more views and could get more, you know, viewer retention and all that stuff, to see if I can, you know, hit that threshold and start to monetize my channel. Because that's everybody's dream, you know? Anyone that posts to YouTube is lying if they tell you that they, you know, just do it for fun, or they want to, or, you know, they don't care if they're monetized. Like, you wouldn't put in the effort to make the video and do all that stuff if you didn't want to, you know, get a return on it, you know? So, just, you know, if anyone's watching this, if you do watch my videos and, you know, you don't want me to stop uploading this kind of content, then let me know. And I'm not going to stop uploading this kind of content. I still will. I just may not do it as regularly. I may try to focus more on, you know, I'll still be playing games, and if I think when I'm playing a game that I can provide, you know, some tips for that current game that I'm playing, just like with Death Stranding. I didn't record any of that gameplay, but I have played it a lot. I have like almost 150 hours into that game now, because I don't have the platinum yet, but I will have it very soon. I only have like 2 trophies left, and they're really easy trophies to get. I'm working on it. I have to collect all of the memory chips, which I only have like 10 left to collect. I know where they are. I have like a little map system, and I just have to run to the places and pick them up and turn them in. But and then I just have to fabricate everything for the Homo Faber trophy, and then I'll pop the platinum. So it's not, and there's only one thing left that I have to fabricate, and I haven't unlocked that thing yet, so I got to figure out how to unlock that, but I'm pretty sure it's just something I've missed throughout the game. But I almost have the game like basically 100% completed. Like I have completed 515 premium deliveries, I think, on very hard. So it's the Legend of Legends, like badge on it as well. And there's 540 standard orders in the game, so I've almost done all of them on very hard. So like I have, you know, I have a lot of knowledge in the game, and I kind of know things that you should prioritize when playing the game, stuff like that. So I have like a whole script laid out, and I just kind of need to record some gameplay to have like, you know, video for the background while I am talking about some of the strategies and tips I can provide. So, and then I also have a script for a whole other SnowRunner tips video that I also need to just record some gameplay of, and I basically need to start a new save file for that, because I want to start the game completely fresh and even get like the very first tutorial and all that stuff. So like that's just another thing I need to do. And like I've been playing so much Death Stranding that like during the day I don't have any time to just like, you know, produce some recordings of content so that I can make those tips videos. So it's just a lot. And then at night, having to record 2 different games, it's just like, it's hard to do all of it. You know, I have 2 kids. I do have a job, even though it's kind of, you know, more of a part-time thing. My wife is mainly the breadwinner right now in our family. I have told this story a little bit before, but I had lost my job because of COVID. And then we had another baby in 2021. We had another child in 2021. And then we just decided for, you know, what was best for us, that I just kind of do this little side job gig that I do, which is tech stuff at a local live theater. And then she, you know, she works for a really good company, and, you know, they were debt-free when COVID happened, so they paid all of their full-time employees their salary, even though they didn't work for 3 months, like all that stuff. So like she was home for 3 months when COVID happened, when like the whole, you know, shutdown happened and everyone lost jobs and whatever else. She was home for 3 months and got paid her full salary the entire time. So, you know, she's grateful to work for a company that was able to do that, and I'm grateful that she was, you know, we were in that position. So, but anyway, I kind of just started making videos just because I had time, and you know, I enjoy doing it. It's fun. But it's just with all of that, even still, you know, I work part-time doing shows and whatever else when I can. And then, you know, we have 2 kids. She works in a retail job. She's a general manager of a store, so like, you know, she's pretty busy herself, and yeah, it's tough. And, you know, spending time together and, you know, all that stuff takes time out of my days and weeks as well. So it's kind of hard to manage all of that. So that's why, you know, I think maybe trying to do this like 2 games at once is a little much. So we'll see. I do already have some other games that I want to play after Humanity, so I don't know if I'll record them and upload them. We'll see. We'll see if I can get these videos done. If anything, I may just take a little break after humanity and try and get a couple of these videos that I have thought about in my head. I'll just use the fuel from the gas tank there. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of put that out there. If there's anyone out there that is watching my videos, I am not going to stop making that content, but I do want to kind of take a step back and evaluate what will be, you know, better content for my channel for what I am trying to do. Because I am a trophy hunter at heart, for sure. I love getting trophies. It's really like, when I play a game, especially games that I like, I just don't stop playing that game until I get all the trophies. It's just, I've always been that way. Ever since I was a young kid, even before, like, achievements and trophies were a thing, my brother and I would always, like, 100% games. Some of my, like, best memories growing up playing games with my brother was, like, we were, you know, my brother and I are only 17 months apart. He's older, but he was born in 88, November of 88. I was born in April of 90. So, you know, we were like, he was maybe like 12 and I was like 10 or 11. And we were playing Grand Theft Auto 3 and Grand Theft Auto Vice City and, like, you know, completing them to 100%. Because, like, that game had, like, stats and, like, you could see, you know, you've completed so many missions out of so many missions. Like, we literally completed everything. We would collect all of, like, the pigeons or whatever they were, like the collectibles around the map. We would do all, like, the taxi stuff, all the ambulance stuff. Did everything. So, like, there's just something we've always kind of done. My brother's kind of fallen out of it. He doesn't do that as much anymore. He also has 2 kids and he's married and he has a full-time job and all that. So, you know, he doesn't really play games as much as I do anymore. He still does, but he's just not as, you know, into it as I am still. But, you know, I mean, it's just something I enjoy doing, so I'm gonna keep doing it. And even, you know, whenever our youngest is in school and, you know, all that stuff, and I get a job and go back to work, like, sure, so be it. That'll be that, and I'll probably still make videos. It just won't be as often. So, but if you don't know, daycare is expensive, so in certain situations this just works out better. It works for my family. It may not work for yours, but so anyway, that's enough talk about all that. I just needed something to talk about really while I was doing this farming, because this farming sucks, but I didn't really have anything else to do in this episode other than just go to a new map and start clearing off and exploring the new map. So we got to do it, so we might as well just do it in this episode. I just hate how they didn't give you, like, any space. It's fucking bullshit, man. Like, there's just no space. Like, how are you supposed to farm this when there's just no space like that? It just doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you put stuff right up like that when you put these tractors in here that can't freaking turn? It's just so dumb. It was just implemented so poorly. I just don't understand it. And I know I've said that already before, and it's probably like a, you know, broken record, but I just don't understand what they were thinking. Like, how could you be okay with this content? I just don't get it. We have to deliver these potatoes after this too, so I would like to try to do that in this episode, but we may have to do that first thing in the next episode. I'm just really not looking forward to like the final contract of this region, because I know you have to farm the same field like 4 times, I think, in a row to get the amount of potatoes that you need, because you need like 8 like cargo full of potatoes, and you get 2 per farming, so like you have to farm the field 4 times to get the 8 potatoes required. It's just dumb. I do think my Zeke's is only like right over there, so it's not like it's super far away. Nice. Okay, I don't really care about that scene. Alright, there's my potatoes. Where are you? Is that it? Yeah. But a little quick fun story here about the job I had lost because of COVID. I talked about this a little bit before, but recently there were some things that happened with that particular business that kind of really, you know, soured any kind of respect or anything for the people that run that business now. I was we'll go back a little bit. When I was in high school, I worked in a movie theater, and this was still, you know, when I was in high school, it was, you know, I graduated in 2008, so it was a while ago. But this was still during film projection days, like 35 millimeter film. So like we had to build up movies and thread up movies and start them and everything. And I was a projectionist when I was in high school. I went to college, and then that theater had shut down. And then when I came back, it was reopening back up under this, you know, new business in the town I live in. I'm not going to say what business it is, but they were basically like a marketing firm, and they still are. That's their main thing. But they had leased the building because the building was never sold. The building was always owned by the same family. It was just other, like, you know, people would come in and lease the building and run a movie theater in it because it was a movie theater. Like, that's what the building was. It was always a movie theater. It originally was a drive-in, like, years ago. And then they built 2 indoor theaters, and then eventually added 8 more smaller ones on, so it was a 10-screen theater. And it was very dated, but it was just, anyway, besides the point. I went back after I came back from college, and I went back as a projectionist because they needed people that knew how to run the projectors, and I was, one of the very few people in the area that knew how to do it. And my brother also knew, and he went back, but he went back as a manager at the time. I was just a projectionist. So anyway, I had gone back, and I had worked as a projectionist for a while. Eventually became like a supervisor, and then what was called a lead supervisor, which was basically like an assistant manager. And my brother was like the GM at the time. And I did that for a while, and then they decided they wanted to reduce the amount of like managers they had, and they wanted to have like 2 assistants, and then like my brother was a GM, and then there was another guy that was like they were like co-GMs essentially. And but they only wanted to have like either 1 or 2 other managers or something. So like, I don't know. Anyway, but I had applied for it, and I didn't get it. They gave it to this other lady that was older, like she was like in her 40s. And it was fine. I was like, whatever. I had 2 other jobs at the time. I was working at the live theater still, because that's kind of what I went to school for. And then I was also working for a AV, like a residential AV installation company, where we'd install all TVs, home theaters, blah blah blah. So I had 2 other jobs on top of this theater job, so I didn't really care that much. I was like, whatever. I got basically demoted to a supervisor, still did projection, didn't matter. I loved doing projection anyway. So that was what I did. But I did that job for a while. We eventually switched to digital projectors, so we didn't really need projectionists anymore. And at that point, I had already pretty much transitioned into a manager role anyway. So I basically just became an assistant manager at this point, and kind of went on from there. And I went back there as projectionist in 2010. So 2020 happened. 2019 actually, this company that had opened it back up in 2010 sold it to a company that had like 19 other theaters along the east coast of the United States. And they weren't like a well-known theater. They weren't like Regal or AMC or anything, but like they owned like 19 other theaters, so they were a reputable company. But anyway, they bought us in 2019. We all kept our jobs. Nothing changed really. It was just really changing hands in the business. And then we were like one of the top theaters in that company all the time. And I did the best inventory. I had the best inventory out of the whole company. I was actually promoted. We had 2 GMs still at the time. We had a co system where there were 2 GMs. They were co-GMs. I was on vacation in February of 2020. My family was in Disney World, and I had started getting all these text messages from everyone, and they were like, "Oh my God, they fired this one guy, and they kept the female," and they were like, are you going to take his job, like blah blah blah. And I was like, well, if they got rid of him, then they don't want 2 GMs. So anyway, when I got back, the female had like called me into their office, and she was like, I want to talk to you about something. And I was like, okay. And she was like, I want to offer you what is called the operations manager position, because the way that this company does it is they have a GM, and then they have an operations manager. And the operations manager basically, if the GM goes on vacation, whatever, the operations manager is there to handle everything that the GM would handle. So I was like, whatever. I'd worked in that industry for like 15 plus years if you count all my high school time. So I was like, yeah, sure. So I was promoted to that. Everyone thought it was good. Even the guy that was like our boss after we had been taken over, he was kind of like our regional manager, I guess you could say. His theater was in Allentown, Pennsylvania, I think, and this theater was in the town I live in Maryland. But anyway, he would travel up to see us pretty often. But he was a really cool guy. He actually like really liked us all and didn't want to change anything with us, but he didn't really like the one guy, so that was why they got rid of him. But anyway, besides the point, I was promoted to operations manager, and then literally that was like mid-February. We literally shut down March 14th of 2020. I think it was the 14th, somewhere around there. And yeah, and then never went back because the company went bankrupt. Everyone lost their jobs, and that was that. So fast forward, I guess what, a year and a half, almost 2 years later, the company that originally sold it, that had opened it back up in 2010, got it back. But this time, they owned the whole building. Like, they got everything. And it's hilarious because, like, my wife, I met her through this theater back in 2010. She had come back as the general manager, and that was the first time I had ever met her. So you could say, like, my wife was my boss at one point in time, but we didn't really start talking and dating until she had left, and she had been gone for like over a year, but we just still kind of kept in touch. But anyway, I'm going to end this episode, so if you want to hear the rest of the story, you'll have to watch the next episode. So leave a like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I will catch you in the next episode. Have a good one.